So what are your actual thoughts on it? Because I have seen a lot of people say that's actually a dumb way to go about it. People say, oh no, you should always have a safety net. And then you branch off of that, knowing that you have a safety net to fall back on. But I am actually of the belief that you just go all in. Either you are all in or you're not. And as soon as you remove the safety net, that's the only time when you can 100% be focused on this one thing. Like, for example, like for people who want to pursue entrepreneurship, one of the advices people give that is that you never want to quit your job and start a business. You want to have your job, you want to start a business on the side, and once it grows enough to the point where it can replace your income, that's when you go full time. But there are other people who are like, if I was working on a job and doing this on the side, I would never be focused enough to actually make it successful. So the only way for me to make my business successful was to go all in and not to give myself that safety net. And psychologically, I do get that second point, which is like, now that you are all in, maybe it's not the most practical path, but psychologically, if you're all in on something, you have no choice but to succeed. Because if you don't, you are derailing your life, your livelihood, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
that hunger, that drive, that stress pushes you to a point where you can succeed. Obviously, a lot of times it can push you beyond that to the point where, you might start panicking and you have anxiety just overtakes you, and then you're not performing as well. But it's just about finding that point where you can let fear and anxiety drive you to a point where it's improving your performance as opposed to impeding it.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the spot. I think it's like it's a balance. And I think if you want to have that approach, the latter approach, which is like go all in and think about no safety net and give it your all, I think it really depends on whatever thing that you're wanting to do, like how intense is it and how much it means to you, right? If it means the world to you, then ideally your resources, energy, and time should pick that, and you should not have the concept of a safety net in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, some of the most successful people, they didn't give themselves a safety net. Whatever it is, whether it come, like, for example, NBA players, right? All they knew was basketball from when they were kids. And that's to be an NBA player, you got to be like the top 1% of the top 1% of the top 1%, right? Like in terms of like a talent wise. And that's the only way you get to the NBA. And even once you're there, like to be the best of the best in the NBA, that's like an even lower probability that you'll ever get to that point. But
Exactly.
unless you've told yourself that you're capable of getting there and you put all your eggs in that basket, you'll never get there regardless. So for every NBA player, there's probably thousands of men, thousands of prospects who never made it and had to find other options. But the ones who do make it, these are guys who have made it their life's mission to make it.